Hey guys, it's Pete, and I'm inside a 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe SUV. That's my daughter's vehicle, to talk about the LeeKooLuu 4-inch backup camera. It's a 1080p backup camera that is very simple to connect. They call it plug and play, and it really is. It does require a little bit of wiring work, but we'll talk about that. It's a fantastic value, and it works perfectly. I'm going to switch the camera around, and we'll get a look at what it looks like installed on the dashboard. So here we see the LeeKooLuu 4-inch LCD 1080p backup camera. It's installed on the dash of this 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe. It comes with a dash mount that's actually adhesive with a suction cup, and it works very well. It keeps the camera in place. It doesn't shake around. It doesn't bounce. The camera is wired directly to the reverse light circuit, meaning that it's going to come on when we back up. So the cable that you see here, it runs into the dash, and it runs behind the dash, and then it runs down to the floorboards where it goes back to the rear of the vehicle. I'll do a quick demonstration or talk about how we wired it and how it installed. But in the meantime, I'm going to turn the ignition of the vehicle on, and I'm going to put the vehicle in reverse, and on comes the LeeKooLuu. So let's open up this garage door behind us so you can see that the picture is nice and clear. It'll give me a picture out of the back of the vehicle. And there it is. You see the backup lines that give you a guide. You can see my Ram pickup in the driveway. This is great, so my daughter can back out of the garage and she can be sure that she's clear of the door on both sides. And again, when I shift into park, the screen goes off. So again, simple shift into reverse, it's on. Back into park, it's off. And that's because it's wired through the vehicle's reverse light wiring, which was very simple to do. Now, with the camera on, there is some menu settings that you can use to actually change those lines. You can make the lines wider. You can bring the lines higher or lower. Basically, you can set it custom for your car. I just took the vehicle to a parking lot and made sure that the width of those lines matches the relative width of the car. So when you're backing into a spot, you can look to see you have enough room, and it also guides you in straight, so you're not going to be crooked in your parking spot. Now, next we'll talk about how we wired this and get a look at the camera on the back of the vehicle. So, from its mounting spot on the dashboard, the wire goes to the dash. We just simply tucked it into a gap. It comes down and runs underneath the steering wheel. You can get access in this vehicle down through there. You do see the wire. The black wire goes across. It's zip tied up so it's out of the way. It could be zip tied further up if need be. The wire then runs down behind the weather stripping to the floor. This floor piece pops right out. You can use a plastic trim removal piece or even a flat blade screwdriver. Just be careful not to crack this piece. It comes off as one piece, and then the wire sits down below it. There is a wiring harness that I zip tied the wire to. The wire then goes under the next piece of floor molding and goes back towards the rear. Now along the back door, the wire goes underneath. Again, this molding piece pops off. It comes all the way back. We folded the seat forward and moved it out of the way and went to the third row, and the wire goes across the same molding, tucks underneath the back molding all the way into the back of the vehicle. Now in the back of the vehicle with the Hyundai, beneath this protective cover is a spare tire tool carrying tray. This tray actually removes by removing these small circles, taking the bolts, Phillips head screws out. I believe there was 4 of them. This whole tray just lifted right out. Once that's out, I was able to get the wiring to come back to the rear of the vehicle. And when the wiring is in the back, it goes underneath the trim and again up the weather stripping. Now it has to go up because it has to come through this grommet to get up inside the tailgate because the license plate is on the back of the vehicle. So the wire comes up through here. This grommet literally just pulls out. I used a coat hanger and I sprayed a little bit of silicone lubricant so the wire could come through, and I pulled all the wire out, tucked it back up through the next part. Once that's done, these trim panels on the back of the tailgate all come off. There's 2 bolts here. There's Phillips head screws. Your vehicle may be different, but once this rear tailgate panel comes off, you're able to see the inside of the tailgate, and then these small trim pieces all the way around just pop off, each one, and then you're able to run the wiring when it comes through that grommet from here down along, zip tie it to existing wires, and bring it over to where you need it, which is going to be in this area up here. Now from the back, you'll see that the camera is mounted securely behind the license plate. The frame is actually hidden behind the plate, so it makes it better for anti-theft purposes. So the wire goes up, goes underneath this piece, which can be loosened up from the inside once all that trim is off. There's 5 10mm bolts, and you can get just enough play to pull this off, and you'll see that right about under here, where my hand is a grommet. Again, a rubber grommet that allows the wire to come through to the inside. And so right behind here is where that wire comes through. This little panel right here is the wiring for the lights on this side of the tailgate. And the reverse light, as you can see, is the top light. So it was easy to find the 2 wires. They, I believe, were blue and white or blue and yellow that went to the reverse light. And those are the wires that I clipped. The wires for the power, which run back with that cable all the way to the back. And they give you 2 T-connectors, which literally just push into the wires. Very simple. Or you could solder the wires. If you're electrically or electronically inclined, you can solder the wires to the existing wiring that's there. Either way, that's going to give you the power that comes off of the reverse light. So when the reverse light is on, your camera has power. You'll see the camera has LED lights. There's 6 of them on here. For night vision, it really gives you a great amount of light, even brighter than the vehicle's reverse lights. So it works very well when you put it in reverse. It's going to light up behind you. So now we're back where it's nice and warm. And just to wrap things up, the LeeKooLuu 1080p backup camera, plug and play, simple installation, full transparency. It took me about 3 hours to do my full install. That's because I was on and off the phone with some clients, but I also had to remove those body panels, and I really wanted to take my time and make sure that I routed the wire exactly right. The wire length for that came with the camera was approximately 23 feet, and given the length of the Hyundai Santa Fe SUV that I installed it in, again, that was a 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe, I felt I would have a lot of wire left over. However, because it has to route its way up into the tailgate, through that grommet, and back down the tailgate to the light wiring, I had just enough wire. And when I say just enough, I probably had 2 inches of leftover cable. And that's the cable that connects to the camera, the video cable. The attached power cable was much longer. However, where my camera connected to the end of that cable was very close to the brake wiring. So I needed about 8 inches of wire out of the 12 plus feet of wire that came for the power hookup to the taillight. So again, I recommend wiring it through the taillight. If you choose not to, the camera does come with a 12-volt DC old cigarette lighter style power supply with a push button on and off. You can connect it directly power-wise to your 12-volt outlet. And unfortunately, then it won't turn on when you back up. You'll just hit the power button that comes with that adapter, and it'll turn the camera power on. That would also allow you to leave the camera running full time, but because of the LED lights, I don't advise doing that. There is a way you can do that, and then clip a small wire that's on the back of that harness that's specifically designed to allow you to turn those LEDs off. So if you chose to use it as a 24-hour rear view camera, you could simply cut the proper color-coded wire. It's a little loop of wire. They make it easy in the instructions, and that would turn off those LED lights. So you could use it as a continuous monitor. However, wiring it into the backup lights makes it simple. Just like a stock backup camera in a newer car, you put it in reverse, the camera comes on. Once you put it in drive, the camera goes off. Again, highly recommended, worth the money, excellent picture, works very well. Good luck.